I know Nana Hostel.
Yeah, I was there. My room was 179.
You tell me about your sleeping pattern.
I would sleep at past midnight, then wake up at 6.
I spent sleepless nights wondering what we would call the diploma in legal practice and came up with the DLP, and I'm glad it has stayed for the last 50 years.
As we are all aware, legal education and training in Uganda is at a crossroads. There's a very high interest in studying law that has thrown up several challenges related to the capacity of law schools to train lawyers and that of Ldc to cope with the numbers.
My name's Helen Namtamba. I'm the Minister for Tourism from Busoga Kingdom. I also work with His Excellency, the President of Uganda. I was in the cohort of 2022-2023 as a bar student at the Ldc. It was exciting because during that time, after my LLB, I had to take my leave, annual leave, and then I saw it could not work after like a month. So I had to write back to the president and request for study leave. When I got a study leave, I came. I had my cousin there at Ldc, so I thought life would be easy. I went to Prince Wambuga, was my cousin, because I'm princess. And then I was like, I'm coming here, I need to pass, you see, with all the status around me. And then he humbled me anyway. He told me, you know what you have to do, my sister, you must get, I need the receipt for the hostel. And then we need all the titles of you. And then you come here and contest for a farm leader. So farm leader is entirely like a class monitor. It's all about having, cleaning the blackboard. So I was like, oh, now you want me to become a class monitor, I roll call, I do what, clean the blackboard? I said entirely. But though here we don't clean blackboards, but you'll be in charge of the class. And then I'll tell you the next thing. If you do for me 2 things, then you'll pass Ldc. I was like, oh, okay. So I gave him my study leave later, and then I went to Nana Hostel. I had to book, I paid the hostel. Then I was like, oh, maybe this is the key to pass. So when I brought, then told me, okay, now go and contest. So I was in between. How do I go contest among the young, students? And most of them, they knew me, called me mama, So I went. I presented myself. I was like, I'm here to serve as your class monitor. And, surprisingly, they all stood aside. And I went through unopposed as farm leader, farm before of my cohort. It was a different experience. That, someone was telling me studying Ldc, if you don't give it your whole life, you don't pass. And I remember those the Friday meetings with the different guests they would bring in. They really humbled us and, strengthened at the same time, because everyone who would come there went through whatever we also went through. So you have to give it your whole. You have to give it the whole of your life. So I left my home. I stayed in the hostel for 9 months. I would cook my own food. Mm-hmm. I would cook and then call my discussants. I cook for them. Mm-hmm. And then we do our tea. And then we discuss. Mm-hmm. Our life was about books, and then books and discussions, then class. Mm-hmm. That was the routine. I had to forego all the dead people wherever. I told them, wait, I'll come after, and that's what I did. And it helps you.
How were you managing, especially with the children, the family?
I had a very good helper at home, and my kid brother was really good. They were taking care of home, but of course with the help of CCTV, I would monitor everything. Then I took one of the boys to boarding, then the baby one. I had a very bad one. When we were going to do judicial practice, it was for the morning. Then they called me. I had just finished reading at exactly, I think it was like midnight. Then they called me at 1, and they told me the boy had collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
So I could not drive. I called a friend at 2. He came, walking through.
Yeah.
So he drove me. We met on the way. We had to rush to a hospital. They had told me there is no blood, whatever, and it was acute, I think, bacterial infection. So I stayed in the hospital until 6. Until 6. So I rushed back to the hostel to dress up, and I went for the paper. And thank God I passed it.
Which term was that?
It was in, I think, term 2.
Oh dear.
Yeah, but I thank God I passed it. And my cousin told me, the reason why he told me to get to the hostel, he wanted me to concentrate, so that I studied from Monday to Saturday. I could only come check on my children on Saturday evening. Then on Monday early in the morning, I'm at Ldc. It was a good feeling because you would study and master the law. You master the concepts. Whatever you did not master at LLB, you would master it at Ldc. Ldc would master, you master the concepts and then how you can apply them. And then I also liked the other part where we studied the management, and then the legal drafting, and then even the staff, even the stories from other students and the advocates out. And then the respect that you also get from the community around. One thing I used to like was council. When you're not yet there, but already they're calling you council. And then the moots, I remember the experience that went through during the moots. You would really feel you're an advocate, and it will give you that spirit, that drive to read so hard and pass. LDC is an easy journey if you're so focused, especially with the integrity of the staff at the center. If you go there when you know you have money, you'll buy through to pass, forget. So even me here, I went to LDC. Everyone was telling me, those who didn't go through LDC, they will tell you as long as you have money, you'll pass, but it's not. It's not true. It's all about hard work. People around me, they know I gave it my whole life. I went to LDC, stayed there for 9 months, and I got support from all my people, from all the judges that I've worked with, all my family members. All of them supported me. Everyone was telling me, if you don't sleep at the hostel, you'll not pass. But I thank God that I'm among the graduates. I want to thank all my professional advisors, the ones we would call PAs. I want to thank all the staffs at LDC and the community that really took care of us. And then the security at LDC really would leave past midnight, and sometimes they accompany you up to your hostel. Sometimes it rains and you don't even have an umbrella. One of the staffs, maybe the support staff, would offer their umbrellas to enable you get back to your hostel. It was really a good experience. Would reach out to any. Another experience at LDC, there is no difference between a director and then a PA. They're all there for you. Would contact the director at any time and you get a response. So it's really a good experience, and I do encourage whoever is there and you're still young, because me, I did LLB as my second degree. I'm a social worker, then now I'm a counsel. And I got the inspiration from the time I met the president with Right Honorable Kadaga, my mom. And then I talked about going back to school to do masters. And the president was like, why don't you go and do law now that your mom here is also aging? And then she told me, yeah, you can do it. And I dedicate this degree to His Excellency the President and Mama Rebecca Alitwala Kadaga. This is your achievement. You really pushed me, inspired me, and I'm so delighted that I'll be able to walk into her footsteps as an advocate. Also, I would advise the young ones, especially, and everyone who goes to LDC and who is pursuing any course. It's always to trust in God. We trusted in God, and trust me, would move with Bibles in our bags. And one of the most, the favorite verse in the Bible was Proverbs 3, verse 5 to 7. It was the power, trusting in God, giving all your life to God, and then He will do the rest. So we would go for, I would have our lunch hour fellowships every day from Monday to Friday, and then we would go for overnights. So I want also to thank my fellowship that we had our time. If you combine God and then the law, trust me, you'll make a good advocate if you trust in the Lord. Thank you very much. Hallelujah.
Namatende, Motesi Salon, Wanguza